News Talk 820 WBAP, Hal J. Ernie Brown, and the morning news rolls on with Jay Young, author of The Upside of Oil and Gas Investing. Jay, it looks like oil might hit $150 a barrel. What is that going to do at the gas pump?
Yeah, that's not going to be very good for the gas pump. But during Obama, it was 147. So I mean, it's not like we're going to see anything really extraordinary out of here. But the problem is we're just not seeing anything that's positive, except for electric vehicles. I mean, there are some electric vehicles out there. But when you look at and break it down per barrel of oil compared to electric vehicles, what percentage are those electric vehicles taking up of gasoline? It's not enough to offset what we need in the United States for oil. We need a lot of oil in the United States, and we're just not drilling it like we should. I mean, it's like, Goldman Sachs came out and said that normally when you see cycles like this and, companies are making record profits, that you see these oil and gas companies that they're coming back and spending 90% of their profits going back into the oil field and drilling more oil at these higher prices, but you're not seeing it this time. They're spending 50% of the money, which just tells us that they feel like that they don't want to go back into the oil business, or it's because of the people are telling them, the people on the boards are telling them that they don't want them to go back in the oil business and spend the money in the ground. They want it in their pocket.
Well, if they're not going to drill for oil and they're afraid to be in the oil business, they'd best come up with another business plan, because how are they going to stay in business? That's
true. Exactly. I know. And I'm, 10 years, 20, 30 years from now, where are these oil and gas companies going to be? If they don't continue to drill, they've got plenty of inventory right now. They got everything in their power. They just don't go back, and the rig count's down. They're not seeing. They're seeing the money going back.
Let me jump in and ask you one question. Let me ask you one question while you're right there. If the oil goes up to, say, $150 a barrel or $250, whatever it could go to, is this the oil company's fault, or is this the Biden administration fault? This is what I need to know, because if it's the oil company's fault, we need to know that.
Yeah, and I don't. Like I've talked to a lot of CEOs, and I'll be with a lot of them today down at a conference at the Statler Hotel here in Dallas, and they're in the oil business. They love the oil business, and they want to go back and they want to increase rig count. But it's the people on the boards, it's the shareholders. And I'm not going to say it's not the Biden administration, because the Biden administration has made a lot of oil and gas companies very, very wealthy, because they're not like the new offshore Gulf of Mexico 3 permits, which was a joke. Trump wanted 50. Biden's squeaking by on 3. It's a myriad of things. It's not just one thing that I can point my finger and say, oh, okay, it's Biden or it's the oil companies. Most CEOs that I know of love the oil and gas business. They want to get into it. I'm a fourth generation guy. I love the oil business. I'm just like all the rest of the CEOs out there that want to go back in the ground and they want to start drilling, but their shareholders are saying, hold on a second. We lost a lot of money during the pandemic when we had all this money out there in the ground, and all of a sudden prices went down. So,
well, investors always want a return on their money, and right now the atmosphere, if you will, the market is not conducive to investing, because you have a government that's saying they want to put the oil companies out of business.
Right. They don't feel like there's a long term there. They don't want to see the oil and gas trucks going up and down the freeways. They don't want to. The
very
demand's
frustrating.
going to be there.
Yeah.
They can't do anything about the demand. The government just can't shut it down. And
but they'll try.
That's going to happen. We're going to see a lot of demand later on.
Jay Young is the author of The Upside of Oil and Gas Investing. Jay, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it always.
Absolutely. Love to.